What does a person need in their everyday life? First of all, to live in a safe environment, which means clean air, clean water, clean nature, but also safe and clean living environment, including different infrastructures around us. That all affects the quality of our lives and depends from the right decisions and actions taken. We all know that it is easier to prevent mistakes than to eliminate consequences. This saves us time, energy, and money. This is especially true for the large-scale strategic plans and programs implemented in our cities, regions, and countries. The development of the infrastructures is growing very fast now, but the planning quality is not always at the best. In this video, we will tell you about the tool to evaluate governmental plans and programs at early stage, aiming to minimize negative impacts on the environment. As part of our project improving skills of NGOs in EECCA countries to participate in procedures according to the UNECE Protocol on SEA, this was mastered by our colleagues from 5 countries. Yes, we will be talking about the Strategic Environmental Assessment, SEA.
Our center, Society and Environment, was happy to implement this project under the auspices of the European Ecohome and with our partners from Austria, EcoBureau. We are grateful to the Federal Ministry and Environmental Agency of Germany for supporting this project. Under the project, we have done trainings for representatives of civil society from 11 countries of Eastern Europe, Caucasus, and Central Asia. We later selected 5 NGOs to carry out pilot projects and become excellence centers on SEA. Stay with us. NGOs from Belarus, Ukraine, Georgia, Kazakhstan, and Tajikistan speak in their own words about their accomplishments.
Strategic Environmental Assessment, or SEA, is based on a simple principle. It is easier to identify negative impacts on the environment and public health and prevent them at the planning stage rather than eliminating them at the stage of a strategic document implementation. The goal of SEA is to ensure that environmental considerations are integrated into strategic decision-making at the planning stage. Strategic environmental assessment is also a tool for public influence on strategic plans and programs. After all, the SEA procedure obliges to involve the public in the discussion of plans or programs and take into account the comments and proposals of the public and allows the public to offer alternative solutions. Ultimately, strategic environmental assessment is a sustainable development tool which allows to find a balance between economic and social goals and the need for a safe and healthy environment. Therefore, I am glad that the representatives of the public of the participating countries have gained knowledge and experience in conducting strategic environmental assessment. I invite you to listen to their feedback on experience they gained with the new environmental policy tool.
Our non-governmental organization, Research Intellectual Club Dialogue of Generation, has its fingers on the pulse of the environment situation in Georgia. We are glad that we got the opportunity to master the SEA tool, and now we can better analyze any strategic plan for the city, the country, or economy sector. Since the SEA is guided by the nothing without the public rule, it provides an opportunity for the engage the public in the discussion. The availability of all documents and the research to the public ensures that people are informed about the future plans and the current state of the environment, infrastructure, and so on. The SEA gives a voice to the public, and the proactive participation is mandatory for successful planning because it takes into account the real needs of real people.
Our public organization, Youth Group for Environmental Protection, takes care of the environment in the Sogdian region in Tajikistan. One of the most effective tools for this mission is the development of a strategic environmental assessment of projects and plans. This is an unbiased procedure that helps to influence the development of our country. After all, with the help of SEA, you can reasonably and in accordance with the law achieve adjustments in favor of the environment and the public in each large-scale infrastructure proposal. We believe that SEA is an integral part of modern environmental code and a tool for justice.
The mission of the Center for the Ecological and Legal Initiative, Globus, is to preserve the ecology and biodiversity of Kazakhstan in proper condition. Since our country is very active in mining minerals, we were looking for an effective tool that would govern these processes. Strategic environmental assessment can be such a tool. SEA implementation makes it possible to use resources correctly, taking into account limits and quotas, so as not to cause irreparable damage to our ecology and biodiversity. Strategic environmental assessment allows us to assess risks, predict threats, and understand the impact of state plans on the state of our country's environment.
According to activists from the public organization Black Sea Women's Club, with the use of strategic environmental assessment, communities have an increased potential to influence the decision-making process in the field of spatial and land use planning. In addition, SEA allows to identify weaknesses in infrastructure planning and predict future problems. After all, the SEA provides comprehensive list of criteria that should be considered for assessment in order to understand the prospect and successful implementation, minimize damage, and ensure proposal meets the needs of the public and the requirement of the environmental standards.
Ecohome always strives to find a balance between nature and civilization. In pursuing this mission, use of strategic environmental assessment when analyzing any infrastructure plan or program is a must. The goal of the SEA is not to interfere with the implementation of plans. The purpose of conducting strategic environmental assessment is to identify unrecorded data or shortcomings and suggest ways to solve the problem. With the SEA tool, we can also offer alternative, more eco-friendly solutions to the authorities or investors in the implementation of specific proposals.
I think we can all agree that the future is in our hands. Therefore, I am truly glad that the European experience on strategic environmental assessment is expanding its geography in order to improve the environmental situation in other countries of the